Here is something you might never guess if you were to drive through the town of Cotter, Arkansas today. There was a time when this little town, tucked into the curb of the White River, was actually busier and more populated than the popular Mountain Home. And when you begin to understand why, you're going to see Cotter completely different. Like many towns in Arkansas, Cotter was born along with the railroad in 1905. In the early 1900s, the St. Louis, Iron Mountain, and Southern Railway chose this spot on the White River as an important division point. The town that grew up around it was officially opened in 1905, and the first passenger train arrived the following year. Railroad workers came, businesses opened up, travelers started passing through. For a while, Cotter became the busiest little place in this part of the Ozarks. Mountain Home itself acknowledges that Cotter once had the larger population because of the railroad. That changed in the 1940s and 50s with the construction of the Bull Shoals Dam and the North Fork Dam. And that helped, shift everything towards Mountain Home. But in my opinion, Cotter had something that Mountain Home never had. The White River ran right through its story. Before there was a bridge, people depended on ferries to cross this dangerous unpredictable river. Then, in the 1930s, Cotter got the bridge that still seems almost enchanted today. It's known as the Rainbow Bridge because of those enormous rainbow-shaped arches stretching across the White River. It was dedicated in 1930 and still remains one of Cotter's defining landmarks. And maybe my favorite thing about Cotter, you can still get to the water. At Big Spring Park, there is lots of public river access, and I really love that. There's a boat ramp, places where you can wade depending on water levels, a swimming hole fed by Big Spring, picnic areas for whoever shows up, and walking trails along the White River. Roundhouse Shoals has a place where you can even get in and walk around, wade around on the water. That may sound like a small thing, but I don't think it is anymore. So many towns were originally built because of the river access. And then somewhere along the way, the development pushed ordinary people further and further from the water. Cotter, it still feels different. Railroad may no longer bring crowds of passengers into town, and Mountain Home eventually way outgrew it. But Cotter still seems to remember what it was built around. The river. You can stand beneath that beautiful rainbow bridge right there by the water. Walk along the banks, watch fishermen drift past, and hear the sound of trains moving through. So Cotter did not become the biggest town in the Ozarks like they maybe predicted at one time. It's a town where the river is still allowed to belong to everybody. I'm Angelia, the Ozark Mystic, a folk medicine naturopath and a native of Arkansas. And if you like this kind of stuff, I have a link every week on the deeper subjects of the unhidden of things in Arkansas and the Ozarks and just consciousness itself. Thanks for watching.